Hey, what's up, my uplifting life partners? This is Ron Simplified Myers coming to you on episode number 7 of the 12. What is it? The top 12 relationship problems according to experts, which is an article that was written by Mark Travers and for Psychology Today. And what I did is I took the 12 topics and giving my perspective. And so today we're on episode number 7, which deals with infidelity and abuse. Now, I think a lot of that we already understand. It's very clear cut. I mean, the infidelity, your partner out messing with someone else, we know that in itself will destroy a relationship. We do know there's some people that don't have a challenge with that. That's why we got swinging couples. But I think for a majority of people, your partner going outside the relationship with someone else is not a good thing. And you have to get clear on this. And this is, and I'm talking about in the beginning of relationships. Is a person committed to you? Too many times I've had people tell me that their partner cheated or stepped outside the relationship when they've never had a conversation with the person about being in a relationship with them. Well, you know what? I'm not going to get that carried into this because this is monogamy that I'm getting ready to talk about. And that's one of the 12, which we'll get into on a later one. But anyway, I know you guys kind of know where this headed to, but you have to get clear on the relationship in advance. But that brings us to the abuse part, because I'm always sharing and will always teach, if you're being abused mentally or physically, I'm going to tell you to run. That's simple. Not walk, run. Because mental abuse will destroy you physically. That's why that old saying when we were little, when they said sticks and stones may break your bones, but words will never harm you, was one of the biggest myths that we've ever been told. Because with sticks and stones, you could go to the hospital and get healed. But the words, the mental, is why most people never, ever accomplish the things that they want in their life. Because people have told them they're not worthy, they're not valuable, they're stupid, they're not driven, they're lazy. That's mental abuse. But it is determining people's future because they're buying into these words that people have told them. I remember even in high school, in one of my classes, I had done a report, and my teacher was bragging to one of the other teachers that came into our room about the fact that I was the first person he had ever given a perfect on the report. And first, let me back up a little bit so you understand. I just transferred to the school as a junior. I moved from LA, which was the neighborhood I was in was all black. I moved to Orange County in Garden Grove, where it was all white. And when I'm saying all white, me and my sister made it a grand total of 3 blacks in the school. So needless to say, there was only one black guy there when we got there. So he was excited when we got there, because it's like, ooh, 2 people that look like me. But bottom line is, so I just wanted to give you that background first so that this makes sense what was said. But when he shared this with the teacher and showed him the report, and he's like, this is the first perfect I've ever given as a teacher. And the visiting teacher looked at me and said, oh, you mean he can read? Folks, I know what that meant. Now, some of you are going to try to say, Ron, that may be not what he meant, and going to try to make this into something that's not. Folks, we can be naive. I am a person that is always going to try to think it's something else before race. I do not try to play the race card. I'm not that type of individual. I'm going to give people the benefit of the doubt. In this particular case, he had nothing else to draw on. He didn't know me. He knew nothing about me. So for him to look at me and say, you mean he can read? What do you think he was really saying? This is where I'm saying I could have took that, and mentally it could have destroyed me if I'm admiring a teacher and this teacher comes in and tries to destroy who I am and make me feel inferior. But folks, the way I saw myself was too high for that to even happen. And even the teacher said, oh yeah, he's probably my top student. And so he supported me. Although I didn't need neither one of them for that, But if I did, you guys see what I'm saying? Mental abuse, I could have taken that, ran with that, and throughout life, look down upon myself as if I'm not worthy or if I'm a lower than other people or whatever stories you write from that. But that's where I'm saying if you're in those situations where people are attacking you from mental, they can destroy you physically because, as we know, the number one killer is stress. That's mental, but it tears down the body physically. So, any situation where you're mental or physical abuse, run. I don't care who it is, run. Those are not safe places for you to hang out in. The infidelity, that's something people have worked through. That's going to be on you and the person that you're with to address what is it that they needed to step outside the relationship that they were looking for. I'm never going to tell you you're the reason that a person cheated because you're never the reason. People will try to blame you. They go, you cheated. That's why I cheated. No, you didn't. You cheated because you wanted to cheat, and now you using the fact that I cheated as an excuse to justify your actions. Because I always tell when I've heard young ladies say that I'll sleep with his best friend to show him. No, that's just your character. Because if you cared about you and you understood your value, you're not just sleeping with anyone. Remember, we just talked about sex in the previous one about bad sex or whatever. But if you know your value, then you're not sharing your body with everyone. So why would I go and have sex with someone else to make you angry, to get at you? I value me too much to do that. I'm not going to go out here and go sleep with someone else to make you mad. No, I value me too much. If I don't want to be with you, I'm not going to be with you, but I'm not going to destroy who I am and how I feel about me to prove a point to you. That's the lady who's justifying who wanted to sleep with your friend to begin with. And now you just gave her a reason to do it, or him, because again, everything I share goes both ways. And they're using it as an excuse to go out and do what it is and say, well, I just got back at him. No, you didn't. You just wanted to sleep around. I'm not a person that's ever going to allow you, or at least from my teachings, I shouldn't say allow because I can't stop you, but I'm not listening to you putting the reasons you make your decisions, blaming someone else. I'm a firm believer in taking responsibility for your decisions. When you make that decision, you chose to step outside that relationship. That was a choice you made, therefore you're responsible for it, and it's not someone else's doing. So anyway, so the infidelity, hopefully it doesn't occur. If it does, you guys need to have that space where you can communicate and talk and see if there's something we can address to maybe make our relationship better so that the person doesn't believe, because still it's still on them. It's never on you. And it's never on the person. Again, never ever take responsibility because a person cheated, because it's not your fault. Again, we do things in life for one or two reasons: to avoid pain or to gain pleasure. When they stepped outside the relationship, they weren't thinking of pain. They were thinking of the pleasure they were going to receive. And after they got through, they tried to justify it by coming up with some excuse, like in this case, well, you cheated, so I cheated. No, you wanted to address something for yourself, and now you got justification for doing it. So anyway, you can have the conversation with your partner, but figure out what is it that they were chasing, that they felt they needed to get it somewhere else. If it's something that we can address, we're willing to address and work through it, then let's do it. Mental and physical abuse. Physical, I ain't never going for, because somebody putting their hands on you, it only takes one time. If they put their hands on you, it only takes one and it's done. So I'm never going to tell you to even stay around for physical. Mental, you guys can go get some counseling, work through it. But depending on how serious the mental is, I'm just, I guess for me, I'm just a person, any kind of abuse, I believe you need to go. And if we are going to get counseling, we can do it while you at your house and I'm at my house, or at least we're separated while we're getting it addressed, because it's not good for you to sit in that environment of mental and physical abuse. That I believe in strongly. You should never settle inside of that. If that means we got to be in separate places in order to get to that place where there's some peace and harmony, that's what we need to do. But I'm never, ever going to tell you to sit inside of that. All right. And as you guys know, it ain't right. It ain't wrong. It is my opinion. Now run on over to the Apple Store or to Google Play. Download my app, which is Simplified You. The word simplify. Oh, right there. Simplified You. Go over there, download it. I have my book attached, the Relationship Success Handbook, Get Rid of Your Problems, Not Your Partner. The book is on sale at Amazon, the physical book. I'm not worried about selling book. I want you to get access to this, to get your first self-love, which is chapter 1, get that together, and then also to get your relationships together. And as you guys know, if you're not having fun, you should be doing something else. And I'll talk to you guys on number 8. Because we're going to number 12. We're going to get all this knocked out. All right. I'll talk to you guys soon. Take care. Bye-bye.